welcome back. Cheers. I hope you're doing well. This is Evan Thomas of ASMR Money Mentor. Before we get started, I wanted to show you this card that somebody got me. Relax. 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 I keep it right here by my desk, so when I'm working from home, I can always remember how important it is to relax, to relax, to relax. Today we're going to be talking about what I wish I knew about money when I was 25 years old. So, this is a really very important episode, so I'm so glad you guys are joining me tonight on ASMR Money Mentor. So, let me anchor back to last week when we were talking about our young couple. Remember, they were like 20 years old. No, 26, I'm sorry. 26. 26. 26. One was 26 and one was 27. And I money mapped, remember, they had $80,000 of income after taxes. And then they had, what, $47,000 of expenses, I think. What was it? Yeah, $47,000 in expenses. And they paid themselves for fun and other $15,000 per year. 15000 divided by 12 is, wait, 15,000 divided by 12, yeah, is $1,250 a month in fun and other, which I think is a big number. I don't even spend that much now on fun and other. So, for two people though, 15,000 left them, remember, with $18,000 in their budget that they could be very intentional with and filter that into the OTPSI, the open to buy line item for saving and investing, because remember that $18,000 is also an expense. They have to see it as an expense. It's an expense they pay to themselves for their future self. Very important. That's a mindset shift that I want you to have. It's going to help you to build wealth. Most people just spend and spend and spend that $18,000 in addition to the $15,000. They don't realize that they should filter it into, and it would become money for their future. And that's what I want to talk about today, is that, you know, if I would have known this when I was 25 years old, things could be very different. But I do know, you know, that for myself, I was a different person financially speaking, and you guys know my past. I'll just say briefly, I had a bankruptcy at age 29. I didn't get smart with money until 30. was surviving for 8 years really before I made a dent in building wealth. And this young couple, remember that I spoke of last week, they had that 40,000 income and a 40,000 income for a total net of 80 after taxes, really had the opportunity, remember, to get to, do you guys remember what the number was? What was the number? If they saved their $18,000 for 15 years at 8%, I think it was 528,000. So let's just call it 500,000. What's important to remember in this equation is that when they're younger, and this is what I wish I knew when I was younger, is that I want you to think of that 528,000 not as 528,000. I'm going to show you that it really is going to be a lot more. So, do you remember one time I talked about the concept called Coastfire? Coastfire, financially independent, retire early, means that if you can get to that 528,000 by the time you're the age of that couple, like in their early 40s, what happens if you get to that big number that early in your career? And then what if you stop adding money to it? What happens to that money? Let's think about it. That 528,000 is earmarked for your retirement, for the wealth, the engine that you're building. If you get to the 528,000 and you let that money sit there for another 15 years, that's a 1-5. 15 years, so if you're 42, plus 15, you'd be 57 years old, which is 1 year younger than where I am right now. And at 42 years old, you stop putting money into that bucket or buckets at 0%. No, I'm sorry, at adding zero money into it from 42 to 57. No more money. At let's make sure I get my numbers right. Where is it? Oh, here we go. If you get to that number and you put no more money in it at 8%, for 15 years, gets you to $1,675,000. So you've just tripled your money by not adding any more money to it. That is what I wish I knew when I was 25 years old. Do you guys understand the relevance of that? That if you work really hard right now and you get to your early 40s, remember that 18,000 or 20,000 that we were putting into our investments all those years. You could stop. What does that mean? That means in your early 40s you have $20,000 or more in your operating budget that you can filter into fun and other. You can spend it on whatever you want. It's almost like you've already won the future financial game because you saved the 500, and yes, a lot of that is gain as well, but at 0% for another 15 years gets you to 1.5 or 1.6 million. You've tripled your money just by doing nothing but letting it sit in the market for 15 years, while you then took your money from today's job, that 18,000, and you spent it on fun. That, my friends, is what I wish I knew at 25 years old, and I did not know that. So that's what I would like to leave you with in today's episode. I think that is probably one of the most significant things I could ever really share with you. Because if you sacrifice for 15 years now, and then you get into your early 40s, if you are 25 years old right now, or 26 or 27, or whatever age you are, and you sacrifice for just a little bit of time, 5 and 5, you get to 500,000, great. Now, you open up all that money in your budget to do whatever you want with. The reality is, however, many of you may want to continue with your frugal nature and continue to build that, and that will get up into $2 and $3 million by the time you get to age 55, 60, 70, right? So, think about that. While I think about closing this episode, I wish I knew that when I was 25 years old. So with that, everybody, if you like content like this, give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. For those of you not subscribed, subscribe to my channel.